Chelsea Football Club might be looking to replace Mauricio Pochettino one day, and Jose Mourinho could be a stern contender, and that is coming from The Athletic. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I want Jose nowhere near this Chelsea job. Before we continue, I want to make it clear, Jose Mourinho is the GOAT in my eyes, and I love him more than you believe. But I still don't want him in and around the football club going forward. And then we're going to talk about William Gallas. Gallas has come out with explosive comments. I was talking about Conor Gallagher and him potentially not being good enough for Chelsea Football Club, and the same goes to Armando Broja. We'll dissect the comments, we'll talk about them in detail, and you will enjoy it because you made it this far. So hit the like button. Let's aim for 750 likes to make sure the algorithm pushes this channel out to others, and more importantly, subscribe. We need to hit 33,000 as soon as possible. That will be greatly appreciated. Now let's move on with it. Jose Mourinho is Mr. Chelsea. A lot of people would say it's John Terry, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, or Eden Hazard. For me, nothing epitomizes Chelsea in class, persona, attitude than Jose Mourinho. He came in, he dominated, went away, came back, dominated again, and set a standard for 2 generations of Chelsea fans. He showed them what it meant to be Chelsea. Standards, acceptability, and more importantly, success. However, it looks like the owners are not opposed to bringing Jose Mourinho back. The Athletic is reporting that the owners think this could be a good move in the near future, and they would not rule it out no matter what other people believe on the contrary. Some of the reasons why I think they would bring him back: number 1, Jose Mourinho is box office. Him as your manager, people care. Your club is always relevant, they're always in the news, the name Chelsea will be continuously spoken about. Look at what he did with Roma. They were selling out the stadium on a consistent basis. Number 2, the fans love him. The minute he comes in, you've got 90% of the fan base on his back in a positive way. They're behind him, they're uplifting him. The match-going fans adore Jose Mourinho. Like I said, nothing epitomizes Chelsea more than Jose Mourinho. The third one, and the biggest one for me, he is marketable. Guys, nobody generates buzz, hype, clicks the way Jose Mourinho does. They will put him on the cover of Dior, if needed, of Vogue, because Jose Mourinho, ever since he was young, was a poster man. I was going to call him a poster boy, but he's a poster man. The way he wore his suits, the way he wore his scarves, the way he wore his overcoats, the way he wore, like, trackies. He is Mr. Fashion, even now at his old age. For me, Jose is something the club just would adore to have. There'll be ticking box, sponsorship deals left, right and center, watches, everything. Because the name Jose Mourinho far exceeds just football. And that is the pinnacle of what Chelsea new owners want. It's not football related. It will be a market deal. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because there are 5 reasons I don't want Jose Mourinho in and around next club going forward. Number 1, this board will not allow Jose to do his job. This board has a different identity. This board wants unity from the top to the bottom. Everybody to say the same thing, everyone to read off the hymn sheet, and more importantly, they will decide who they're going to buy in terms of the recruitment team. There will not be 29-year-old signings, 28-year-old signings. There will be project. Jose Mourinho doesn't do projects. There's a famous quote that he said, "I'm not in the business of teaching you how to play football. I'm in the business of teaching you how to play tactics." And that is a fact. Jose would not have the patience for a Noni Madueke, for a Mudryk, for a Cole Palmer, for any types of midfielders that are not ready to contribute in now. He will call him out actively and viciously. And like he said on the John Obi Mikel podcast, sorry about that, he will literally get arrested for some of the things that he used to do to the other team. That can't work. Number 2, I don't want his legacy ruined. They'll bring him back, and within 18 months to 20 months, he will start speaking out against the board, and he will be sacked. He will have another sacking on his resume from Chelsea Football Club twice, and this time there'll be no league title. This squad is nowhere near ready to win the league title now, and more importantly, Jose is not going to accept finishing 4th, 3rd. He will always want to go and compete for more, compete for more, compete for more. And then that will taint his legacy to a lot of young Chelsea fans. I don't want that to happen. I'm sorry. Like, that might be a silly reason for you guys. For me, that's very important. Jose is the GOAT, and I don't need that ruined. Furthermore, number 3, Jose always leaves clubs worse than when he comes in. And that's a fact. The only club that never worked at was Chelsea the first time. Otto, he left. A bunch of players left straight after him. They weren't as good as they were prior to that. Then they were phenomenal. Chelsea were phenomenal. He left. Yes, Chelsea continued success. Inter Milan was stuck with a bunch of old players such as Lucio, Julio Cesar, Samuel Eto'o, and Benitez couldn't get a tune out of him, and that team literally went down a spiral. Real Madrid had to do a whole full rebuild after Jose Mourinho practically left. We had problems at Chelsea the second time around that were unprecedented. Literally, Salah leaving, De Bruyne leaving, young players just leaving left, right and centre, Mata leaving, Matic leaving. It just didn't really work out at Chelsea Football Club. It really didn't. And I think Matic left under a different stewardship, but you know what I mean. Manchester United were destroyed by Jose Mourinho when he left. They've never recovered. They were stuck with players that they didn't want because he brought in so many older-based players. Same thing has happened to Roma now. Roma had the third highest wage bill, but it's full of veteran. That is not sustainable in the long term, and I'm sorry, people aren't going to like that, but it's the harsh truth. We could get all the names up on the list and talk about it, but we are all football purists here. We've got the knowledge. We remember all these tenures because we've looked over it or we've read about it. It's evident. The next one, the fourth one, and I think this is a pivotal one that people don't want to accept. The playing style is boring. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I watch football for entertainment. I love sitting there and watching the game and going, I love this game. Yeah, he didn't score that, but look at that move. Look at the way they're controlling the ball. I've watched Roma so many times in the last few years. They are boring. I don't think I'm over-egging it. I am being harsh. They literally are boring. It's give the ball to Dybala, something might happen, and if it doesn't, then the move breaks down. Make sure we don't concede. That is the tactics. There was nothing more. There was no fundamental build-up play. There was no method to the madness. If anything, now he's become more negative. Now it's three at the back with no wing-back presence. The wing-backs will just run and get to there and just be a little bit of a burden, but two midfielders will sit at all times. And that, for me, cannot run. I don't want that at Chelsea. The squad is too good to be doing that at Chelsea. We are too good of a team to be playing that way. I don't want it. And the final reason, and this is the biggest one that should resonate with all of you. In the last 7 to 8 years, Jose's finished in the top 4. Let that sink in. Once with Manchester United where they came second. Jose Mourinho is no longer the Jose Mourinho of old. He does not extract more out of the youth, the talent in and around him. Jose, in his first 10 years, was the best manager I have ever seen. Jose, in his second years, became somebody that needed more to get more out of the team. He couldn't use what was at his distribution. At Roma, 6th, 9th. That is damning when his job was 4th at least once. Yes, he won a Conference League, but like on ESPN FC, Stephen Nichols said, "What? Well done. You're the 6th best team in Europe out of all the 6th place teams. Well done, congratulations." Yes, they lost in the final of the Europa League, but cup competitions, he's undefeated. But we will not accept that as a fan base at Chelsea. We will want top 4 at a bare minimum. We finished 10th last year, or 12th. The meltdowns were crazy. Arguably, that was the right reaction. However, can you imagine if Jose Mourinho comes in and finishes 6th and then 5th? We will not be having it, and I will not tolerate hearing Jose Mourinho out. This player is boring. I don't want to see him at Chelsea. So please, can we move on with this and stop this nostalgia effect of wanting him back? It's not the right thing to do. For those of you that watch my channel for a while, you know that I'm very, very open and transparent with my views when it comes to certain players. And not even certain, all players. Ask me any player in the comments below. I will give you a full description of how I feel about him with backing reasons. I'll give you the pros, the cons, and the downright uglies in reality. William Gallas is the first professional in a while that has come out and spoke his mind, and I said, that is not a media answer. That is him being him. So many ex-pros are in the business of not making people upset rather than actually communicating what they see on a football pitch. And what is very evident with the growth of football channels by fans and companies making football shows, we are not analyzing the game in the way that we should in the detail, because the average watcher of these shows now is far more intelligent on the game than they were like 10, 20 years ago, purely based on the fact the access that we have to the game, we're consistently watching it, we're studying it, and more importantly, the volume of effort that we spend in intaking like different tactical awareness. We literally will watch the game over and over again and analyze it. We'll be like, okay, this is the reason this didn't work out. This is the reason this didn't work out. Back in the day, you watch the match of the day. You can't go on YouTube and watch more. You can't go and buy a VCR and watch the game 15 times. You'll watch one game rather than 10 games in a row. This is the reason why we demand more. So when William Gallas comes out and speaks about Conor Gallagher in a way that I speak about Conor Gallagher, I find that refreshing. I really do, because ex-pros don't do that normally. William Gallas said, Conor Gallagher runs a lot. What I say. He says but he lacks quality. Exactly what I say. When it compare him to Enzo and Caicedo, he's nowhere near in the same league. It's exactly what I say. And then he says something important. Chelsea either need to change the system, what I say, to suit Gallagher's true ability, or he has to be removed on because he's not of the Chelsea quality. What is incorrect in that statement? People will say Gallagher's our best player. How can Gallagher be our best player when he lacks technical ability to receive the ball in the final third under pressure, when he opts to play the safe pass, or as William Gallas says, he slows the attack down consistently? And that's not because he's under instruction to do that, it's because he's not brave enough with his passing. He plays either in a shell or he just knows he's not capable. Then he spoke about Armando Broja, something I've said about Broja. He's got a ton of talent, you can see. However, is he of the Chelsea level? I don't think so. I've said this on numerous occasions. Sometimes, you know, it's so refreshing to hear ex-pros talk so openly and freely that it shocks you. I've completely stopped watching pre-matches and post-matches of analysis. The only one I watch is CBS because I find it wildly entertaining, and I actually think Jamie Carragher, Michael Richards and Thierry Henry break the game down in very good detail. At the same time, you get a humor with it. I also watch ESPN FC. The reason I watch ESPN FC is because I find it wildly entertaining. I do not go for them for tactical analysis. I go to them for aggregation of news. Basically, hear what's going on in the football world. High level analysis, nothing in the detail, because I know where I go for my detailed orientated stuff. And that's the harsh truth. I think a lot of people aren't going to like what I just said, but it is what it is. So guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future going forward, because I think I'm going to start transitioning this channel into talking about more than just Chelsea. Like, for example, there might be no news on Chelsea, but Arsenal play tomorrow, big game, and I might talk about that. Let me know if you guys would want me to do that, or do you want this to be a strictly Chelsea-based channel, and in the future for me to create Kavkas View 2, and that would be the way where I talk about Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, like more stuff that I want to talk about other than just Chelsea, because I can't lie to you guys, I love Chelsea, but sometimes there's just no escaping the negativity that we're in at times, or maybe just covering the same stories that keep coming out, and there's no evolution to this channel because it's only going to be segregated on one group of people like Chelsea fans. So I wanted to spread the breadth of it, or shall I just introduce a second channel? Let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace out, I'm out.